and so on. To decide which features you want to use for your classifier, you have to go to the Feature Manager tab, and here you can see all features that are currently implemented. In the Develop folder of the WiiGLE distribution, you will find a solution that allows you to define and implement your own features if you want to use additional features than the ones that we have already incorporated in the WiiGLE environment. Now what you need to do, you need to choose among these features those that you think are relevant for your classification task. And to decide this, you could, for example, use the WECA classifier to select attributes that are relevant for the classification. Okay, in our example, we just use all features that we have defined, and to do so, we have to select all features and create what we call a feature list and then we can save this list as a feature collection and have to give a name to this, of course. For example, digit collection. Press save, and then we have saved this feature set for our classification job. Now we come to the most important tab in our WiiGLE environment, the Classification Manager. To train a classifier, we have to define three different things. First of all, we need to define the gesture group, which holds the gesture classes that we would like to classify. In our case, it's the group digits with the classes 1 and 2. Next, we have to select a classifier, and in this text box you can see the classifiers that are currently implemented. In this case, it's a time series classifier, and we also incorporated one of the WECA classifiers, in this case the naive Bayes. So let's try the naive Bayes from the WECA tool. And then, of course, we need to define which features the classifier will use to recognize the signals. And we have previously defined this digit collection, which holds all the features that we have defined so far. And when we have selected these three things, then we can create a new classification job, which will show up here. Which is constituted of a group, a classifier, and a feature set. And what we can see here is if the classifier has been already trained or not, and because we haven't trained it yet, it reads false here. So now we have to train the classifier, and this is done just by pressing this button. And now we can see here that this changed from false to true. So now we have a classifier, a naive Bayes classifier, who will classify our two classes 1 and 2. To test if the classifier really works well, at least on our example set of gestures, we can do a cross-validation by pressing this button, and then we will see the result below in this text box. So it's a 10-fold cross-validation that was done on our training gestures, and the success rate seems to be 100%. So let's see if this really is true. And to test our classifier, we can go to the tab Classification Result, where we will see how well our classifier really works with new instances of our two classes 1 and 2. Okay, let's try our two gestures that we have trained with our new classifier. And again, we have to press the button B to do the gesture and release it when the gesture is done. So let's try gesture number 1. So now I did the 1. And what we can see here in the upper text box is the classification result. That is the winner class for this classification. and it's from the group digits, and with the classifier naive base, and the winner is 1 with the probability of 100%. So below you can see the XML-based structure that is also sent over a port that you can specify here. This XML structure is built up from 2 different parts. The first part just defines the winner class, that is the gesture that has the highest probability. And below you can see all the probabilities for all gesture classes that were in the group of digits, in this case 1 and 2. This information is sent to this port via UDP, and so you can use this information in your application. You can concentrate, for instance, just on the winner class, or if you have a more complex way of analyzing the gestures, you can also use this n-best list of gesture classes in your application. Okay, we have seen that that works well, so let's try our second gesture class, the 2, and let's see if the classifier is able to recognize this also.